知道啊，快走吧，有点危险。
太吓人了！黑天了，黑天了，啊，瞬间黑天了。我操！
Imagine standing outside on a warm spring evening. The sky is faintly golden, traffic is moving normally, and the city around you hums with its usual rush hour rhythm. Then, in the space of a few seconds, everything goes black. That is exactly what happened in Harbin, the capital of Heilongjiang province in northeastern China, on the evening of May 31st, 2026. A massive wall of dust, dark, fast-moving and towering tens of meters into the air, rolled across the city and swallowed it whole. Residents described the experience as surreal. Some called it frightening. Others simply said it felt like the end of the world.
我的天哪，你看这云，
这都滴成啥样？哎，这是着火了还是咋的？这啥呀？这是着火了还要下大雨啊！我的妈呀，是咋着吗？我操！喂，这是着火下大雨了。
The event began building much earlier in the day. By midday, Harbin was already experiencing unusually high temperatures for late May, warm enough that meteorologists were paying close attention. A powerful weather system was approaching from the northwest, a high-altitude trough pushing down from above, and a surface-level cyclone moving steadily eastward. When these two systems collided with the warm, humid air sitting over the city, they created the conditions for something extraordinary. At 1:30 in the afternoon, Harbin's meteorological office issued a yellow wind warning. By 4 o'clock, that had been upgraded to include thunderstorm gusts. And less than an hour after that, tornado warnings were issued for districts further north in Heilongjiang province. At around 5:30 in the evening, the storm hit Harbin's urban areas. Witnesses described looking toward the western horizon and seeing a dense, dark mass approaching, a wall of lifted dust and soil, hundreds of meters high, sweeping in from the direction of Inner Mongolia and western Jilin province. Within minutes, sometimes within seconds, daylight was completely gone.
我操，兄弟们！我操！我气了，毁了！我操！要毁呀，兄弟们，不对劲呐！行，安静点，我看那个。我还能。先把鞋穿，准备跑路了，兄弟。
One resident in Pingfang district described it this way. It came like a wall of sand toward the community. In less than 2 minutes, it had swallowed the entire area. The sky went instantly black, and the wind was howling. A merchant on Sport Street recalled the moment the storm peaked. The sky went dark around 5:30. The winds were ferocious. A large roadside tree snapped and fell onto parked cars. As far as I could see, no one was hurt. By 7 in the evening, the wind had eased and a light rain had started to fall. People driving into the city at that hour were caught in near total darkness in the middle of the day. Many turned on their headlights and fog lamps just to see the road ahead. Visibility in the worst moments dropped below 100 meters. The numbers behind this event are striking. Wind gusts at some Harbin monitoring stations reached 35 to nearly 39 meters per second. That is roughly 127 to 140 kilometers per hour. To put that in context, those are wind speeds typically associated with typhoons, experienced here in a landlocked northeastern city far from any coast. This broke May wind records at several local stations. At the height of the storm, air quality sensors recorded a dramatic surge in PM10, coarse dust particles, pushing the city's air quality index into the severely polluted category. The intense phase lasted roughly 30 minutes before the leading edge of cold air passed through and the winds began to ease. Infrastructure took a visible hit. Trees were snapped across the city. Exterior plaster was stripped from building facades. Metal roofing sheets were torn from rooftops and flung across roads. Train services on multiple lines were slowed or suspended due to poor visibility and safety concerns, including high-speed rail services. One train reportedly stopped for more than an hour. As of late that evening, authorities had confirmed no deaths and no serious injuries. Emergency services and meteorological teams described the outcome as a near miss, significant damage, but no loss of life. Meteorologists from China's National Weather Service described this as the strongest convective weather event recorded so far this year in northeastern China. Despite its appearance, this was not a classic long-distance sandstorm blowing in from the Gobi Desert. It was what scientists call a haboob, a wall of dust created when a powerful convective storm system drives downdrafts into dry soil, lifting local dust and propelling it outward at enormous speed. The dry agricultural plains of northeastern China, flat and exposed after a warm, dry spring, were ideal conditions for exactly this kind of event. The clash of near-summer warmth against an incoming cold front of near-winter intensity is what made it so intense. China Weather Network meteorologists called the combination rare for this region and this season. The broader region remained on alert through the overnight hours. Strong convection yellow warnings remained active for southern Heilongjiang, Jilin, and northern Liaoning, with risks of further powerful gusts, large hail, and possible tornadoes. The full extent of property damage across Harbin was still being assessed. Meanwhile, on social media, millions of people watched citizen videos of the Black Wall advancing, clips that had been trending on Chinese platforms almost from the moment the storm hit. The imagery was impossible to ignore, darkness rolling in like a curtain being drawn across the sky in the middle of a spring evening. By nightfall on May 31st, the dust had begun to settle and a gentle rain was washing the air clean over Harbin. The city had been shaken, not by a catastrophe in the traditional sense, but by a reminder of just how quickly the natural world can assert itself over our most ordinary moments. Events like this one raise important questions about how cities prepare for sudden extreme weather, about the resilience of urban infrastructure, and about what a changing climate may mean for regions not historically known for storms of this intensity. For now, the people of Harbin are counting their blessings, a city briefly plunged into darkness, but one that came through without loss of life. And that, in its own way, is something worth acknowledging. If you found this video informative, consider sharing it. And if you have questions or thoughts about extreme weather events like this one, leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching.
我的天呐，你看这圆。